Starting from release up to 1.1, Lycaon has been the must pick for stun units. Following with Chingy's release and now Lighter's, not everything is going great for our boy. But is that true? Has Lycaon been power crept, or is he still a monster in the battlefield? For his traces, focus on basic, special, and assist. Also, check out my Discord server. I made it so I can get to know my community a little more and answer any questions that you guys may have. Whether it's builds or more in-depth character questions, or you just want to say hi, I'm just a ping away. Now, on with the video. When Lycaon charges his basic attack, the attack's daze percent is increased. When Lycaon lands an EX special attack, or defensive assist, he reduces the target's ice resistance by a percentage for 30 seconds. For his team passive, Lycaon increases the target's stun damage multiplier by 35% whenever he hits a stunned enemy. Now, for the basics. Lycaon is a stun unit that specializes in basic attacks. Holding the basic attack button allows Lycaon to charge his attacks. Upon charging his moves, Lycaon now deals ice damage and increased daze. After releasing the attack button, Lycaon's finisher gains iframes. Next is his EX special. Lycaon's EX special reduces his target's ice resistance and deals a tremendous amount of daze. You can either tap the button or hold it for the entire combo. I recommend just holding the EX special, as it not only has iframes through the entire animation, but it also inflicts an insane amount of daze. Before we get into teams, I just want to preface that just because I didn't mention your team, doesn't mean it's not good, but it also means that just because all of their elements or factions match, doesn't mean they're not bad. As of 1.3, Lycaon does not have a lot of flexibility when it comes to teams. For now, we have the 1.0 special and a couple off-meta variants. First, we have Ellen, Lycaon, and Sokaku. If you have Rina or Caesar, you can replace Sokaku as well. Just like Kaleda, Lycaon's daze isn't affected by his team passive, which makes him a pretty flexible unit if you're just looking for a simple stunner. With that in mind, you can put him in pretty much any viable scenario. We don't have many other team comps that work with stuns, so Neko or Juyuan with Nicole isn't a bad choice either. Hopefully, when Harumasa comes out next patch, he'll be able to work with Rina and Lycaon, but we'll have to wait and see when he comes out. For the build, I recommend 4-piece disco with 2-piece jazz. For 1 to 3, focus on attack percent, AP, and pen. Crit is always a good idea, but not mandatory. For 4 to 6, I recommend crit or attack percent, ice damage bonus over attack percent, and finally, impact percent. Now, when deciding what W engine to use, we have to think about a few key things. How much impact the wearer gets, how fast or how slow can we maximize the gains from said W engine, and of course, whether or not the buffs are worth it. Chingy's signature, Ice Jade Teapot, is his best in slot. Whenever a basic attack hits an enemy, the wearer gains a stack of Terrific. Each stack increases the wearer's impact by 0.7% up to 30 times for 8 seconds. If the wearer has 15 or more stacks, then the whole squad gains a 20% damage buff. While it doesn't give a lot of impact percent, the 20% damage buff to the whole squad is much more impactful and serves as an extra 4-piece swing jazz buff on top of your own supports. Lycaon's charge attacks hit up to 14 times in just one combo already, so uptime isn't even a problem. Matching that with his daze percent increase, whenever he charges his basics, the benefits just keep coming. Lighter's signature, Blazing Laurel, is his next best. Whenever the wearer uses a quick assist or defensive assist, they gain a 25% impact for 8 seconds. Whenever the wearer hits an enemy with a basic attack, they apply a stack of wit for 30 seconds. For every stack of wit accrued, the enemy receives more crit damage from fire or ice units. Wit can be stacked up to 30 times. I chose this W engine as its next best as it gives Lycaon the second most impact, but also a nice little crit damage boost for your main DPS. Just make sure to keep it simple with only 1 DPS, as the crit damage bonus can only be used by 1 unit. This is also under Jade Teapot, as crit damage is much easier to gain, which will result in diminishing returns. Lycaon's signature, though restrained, is now his 3rd best. It's a simple W engine that increases his damage and daze for his basics by 6% up to 5 times. The total bonus is 30% for 8 seconds. So why isn't this higher than the other two? I have 2 words for you. Daze isn't impact. Sure, the daze buff does make Lycaon stun faster, but only for his basic attacks. This means that your EX specials are going to be lackluster compared to the other options. It's honestly not as good as others think, as even the next option is a much better choice than this one. Steam Oven is his next best. Steam Oven is a bit unique as it is the only stun W engine with an ER main stat. Combined with the 25.6% impact you gain from spending energy, it's a solid free-to-play W engine that can even rival his signature. Kaleda's signature, Hellfire Gears, is next. While not the greatest, it still gives a solid 10% impact increase whenever the wearer uses their EX special. This buff stacks up to 2 times. It also gives the wearer some nice energy regen, but it's only when the unit is off field. The Battle Pass W engine, 6 shooter, and Fossil are last. 6 shooter isn't great as you have to wait for your stacks to charge, and those charges are consumed whenever you use your EX special. Fossil also isn't the best as it allows the wearer to inflict more daze the weaker the enemy gets. For Mindscapes, Lycaon's M1 and M6 are his overall best. For his M1, Lycaon gains a 12% daze increase to his EX special whenever the attack hits an enemy. On top of that, when you complete the EX special combo, this buff will increase by an additional 10%. For his M2, Lycaon gains 5 energy when he stuns an enemy or triggers a squad member's chain attack. His M4 gives Lycaon a shield whenever he gets hit while in the middle of a basic or a special attack. And finally, his M6 applies a debuff to enemies whenever his charged attack hits an enemy. The enemy receives 10% increased damage from Lycaon, specifically up to 50% for 12 seconds. Each stack is gained per skill use, so to maximize the buff, you have to do a full charged basic rotation and then a full EX special rotation. And that's about it. Lycaon has many options via W engines, but not much when it comes to teams. Hopefully when Harumasa comes to the table, we'll get to see more of Lycaon in the future. Hopefully I was able to teach you guys a little something about Lycaon. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Say no more. Fight your throat out. Stay calm.
That was 1 in 100, I guess. Ever heard the whistle of arrows in flight?
Amateurs.
That was 1 in 100, yeah?
With this power, time to clean the food.
Hitting the mark is all that matters. Who's the pathetic one now?